But Sanju Verma, let me start with you first. What Mr. Pawar has said, and subsequently other India Alliance parties have also said, is that the Prime Minister, by tweeting what he did in the first day of the terror attack and then the phone call with Mr. Netanyahu, it seemed like this was an unqualified, almost like a blank check to Israel to do what it should to protect its interests, and if that risk entails the loss of civilian lives, then so be it. But is India and the Prime Minister now sort of walking back on some of that? The MEA statement was slightly more nuanced. It kind of toned back and again went back to what its statement was over all these years about the Palestinian cause, etc. And today the Prime Minister spoke to Mahmoud Abbas as well. So has that happened post facto is what the India Alliance parties are asking.
Let's be very clear. It's very important for your audience, and you've done umpteen shows and very informative ones at that. Israel became a state, a country, that was created in 1948. From 1948 to 1967, the Gaza Strip was under the occupation of Egypt. From 1967 till 2005, Israel, had the Gaza Strip with it. Gaza was with the Israelis from 1967 to 2005. From 2006 till 2023, as we speak right now, for the last 17 years, Gaza Strip has been with the Hamas, which says that there was an election in the Gaza Strip of Palestine in 2006 and they were duly elected. So first and foremost, currently the Gaza Strip is not with Israelis, it is with Hamas. Hamas is a terror outfit, point number one. Point number two, I think Prime Minister Modi, when he came to power, he was the first Prime Minister to visit Israel in 2017, and he was the first Prime Minister of India to also visit Ramallah in 2018. And why I've mentioned these two instances is to tell your audience that it was under the aegis of Narendra Modi that we de-hyphenated our Israel and Palestinian foreign policy, which basically in layman's language means that we will choose to deal with Israel on the merit of our relationship with them. We will also choose to deal with Palestine on the basis of a standalone merit-based relationship with Palestine. Now, the most important point is this. When these 7,000 or 5,000 odd rocket launches happened, somewhere between October 6th, as of morning, October 7th, it was an unprovoked aggression by terror outfit Hamas, and it needed to be condemned unequivocally, unconditionally. And people who are conflating and confusing the dignity of Palestinian people, the right to life of Palestinian people, which we also endorse in no uncertain terms, with Hamas, they are doing a great disservice to the people of Palestine, civilians who have nothing to do with Hamas. My simple argument to Sharad Pawar is this. Please don't teach Narendra Modi diplomacy. Please don't teach Narendra Modi how he should deal with the lives of people in Israel and Palestine, because India has contributed more than its fair share in calling out terror by saying that there is no such thing as good terror and bad terror. But why is it that, Hamas, which is a terror outfit, has not been called out by Sharad Pawar, not been called out by Rahul Gandhi,
Ghanshyam Tiwari, the moot point is this. All of this started on October 7th, and Sanju Verma is right. This was an unprovoked, completely uncalled for terror attack by Hamas, an organization in whose charter it has called for the destruction of Israel. Now, in such an event, and also we as India and Indians, we have been the victims of terror, of Pakistan-sponsored state terror for the last 30, 40 years. How can India and the Indian government not call out that terror and not stand unequivocally with the victims of that terror? So what is wrong with the position that the Prime Minister took that day?
Good evening, Zaka, to you, the viewers and Pharaoh panelists. I'll read some headlines. Foreignpolicy.com says Modi's comments on Israel-Gaza war signal shift. So the world is recognizing that Prime Minister Modi has made a foreign policy shift with respect to the Gaza war and the Israel-Palestine issue. That's one. This is what the world press is noting. Second, the world press is saying that since the war, one tragedy for India has been that why is so much anti-Palestinian information coming from India? The right-wing accounts are being accused of putting out fake news. The question is why? Why is the BJP propagandists doling out in this tragic time like vultures fake news in a way that makes India appear like a pack of clowns rather than a serious country? And third, why is a set of people from Indian media who support...
I'll give you a chance to respond. Let him finish though, please.
Allow me complete. So reporting in Israel in a one-sided manner, led by the government. These are important questions. As far as the tragedy in Israel as well as tragedy in Gaza is concerned, it is unthinkable. Children dying, brutally killed by a terrorist organization, and then hospitals getting bombed, propaganda on top of it. The fact that each of us cannot even imagine the kind of scale of tragedy that is erupting there means that none of us are in a position to comment on it with great knowledge as well as use it in any format. The BJP is the only party in India that, from its propagandists to its trolls to its right-wing IT cell to its ministers to its chief minister such as the Assam chief minister, is using this tragedy in a vulture-like manner for propaganda.
Okay, so Sanju Verma, can you respond to the point that Ghanshyam is making? Why is the foreign press then saying there is a shift of stand by India when you are saying there is no shift of stand? We're always reiterating, our commitment to the Palestinian cause, and yet at the same time also, the last point that he made, which I think you need to come in and defend. Himanta Biswa Sarma saying that let Pawar send Supriya Sule. As a woman politician, he's being accused of being misogynistic. Would you condemn that?
I heard all that. Now it's my turn to speak, and I will, pointedly rebut what the Samajwadi Party spokesperson has said. First and foremost, let's be very clear. Do we stand with the people of Palestine? Yes. Do we stand with the civilians of Israel? Yes. But do we call out the bluff of Hamas, which was set up in 1987 and clearly tells that we subscribe to the Muslim Brotherhood ideology? We do not want a separate Palestine state. Hamas clearly says all we want is the annihilation of Israel, the annihilation of Jews. Point number one. Point number two. Unfortunately, Ghanshyam Tiwari, who masquerades as a well-read person, needs to understand that Modi does not need to learn foreign policy from the Samajwadi Party, whose leader Akhilesh Yadav, when the Indian Mujahideen, attacked the Daseshwar Ghat in Uttar Pradesh in 2006, in 2008 and 2010. Thrice the Indian Mujahideen had, attacked Uttar Pradesh. And what did Akhilesh Yadav do? He went running to the Allahabad High Court. He went running to Lucknow and he told the court, Indian Mujahideen is not a terror organization. और वाराणसी में जो अटैक हुए हैं उसके साथ इंडियन मुजाहिदीन का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Who are we talking about here? We are talking about Sharad Pawar, who has been an erstwhile defense minister, a couple of times the chief minister of Maharashtra. Today his daughter is giving bhashan on women empowerment. Let me remind Supriya Sule through your show, Zaka, that it is the same Sharad Pawar-led alliance which in May 2022, for a month, Ketaki Chitale, a young Marathi actor, was arrested and was kept in prison for 1 month for an innocuous poem against Sharad Pawar and was slapped with serious charges of section 500, 501 and 505 of the IPC. So please do not give us bhashan on morality.